Hey y'all, so I'm pretty sure we figured out what's wrong with Selah. This is the shelter that Selah and Sabella have been sleeping in for the past several months. Back here behind these pallets is the shelter for the other goats in the other paddock. Because of the way the roof is angled in that other paddock, it actually lets all of the water flow right off of their roof and into this other shelter. When we had a whole bunch of rain a couple months ago, it got really wet in here, and so I just added in a bunch of hay because that's what I had on hand to help soak it up a little bit and make it a little bit more dry for the girls, but I never raked it back out. You can see there's some new hay, that's just from their feeder, but what ended up happening was that it just kind of compacted, and because it's still so warm here, it just turned into like mold and mildew and a disgusting mess. I really wasn't keeping a close eye on it. It didn't occur to me that I needed to muck out their shelter. One night I was out here and was feeding, and it kind of kicked some of the hay and it just kind of smelled, you know, moldy. So the next day I came out and raked it all out. We raked out this entire paddock, moved all of that hay so they can go compost somewhere. Now, even after I raked out the shelter, I wasn't entirely sure if that was actually the problem. And so I just kind of Googled like mold exposure symptoms for livestock. And sure enough, the biggest problems we were having with her were like the #1 and #2 symptoms, which are weight loss and poor feed conversion. So we've been giving her a lot of food and a lot of really good high quality hay, and it wasn't turning into anything. She wasn't gaining weight. So with the mold exposure, it just means that her rumen wasn't able to function properly, and so it wasn't converting all of those nice good nutrients into anything her body could actually use. It's only been 5-ish days since I took all of that mold out of her shelter, and already she's shown great improvement. Hey girls! So one of the biggest and fastest things we have seen change on her is that her rumen is starting to poke out, so her stomach is actually working the way it should. Before, she was just sunken in and very, very thin. Dairy animals are typically thin. It's just the way that their bodies are shaped. It's how they are. But Sayla was just, she was too far. It was too thin for me. I really like heavy-set goats. I like them to be fat and happy. But Sayla was just, she wasn't even on the like, she's kind of thin, but it's okay. She was getting like very skinny, and I did not like it. And I could tell that her rumen was not working properly because it wasn't, you know, bloated out and regularly getting bigger and smaller like their stomach should. Instead, it was just really staying small, and that was a problem because I really thought she just wasn't eating. But turns out she just wasn't converting the food like she's supposed to. So now that Sayla is feeling better, we have her and Sabella, wherever she is, back together. And during the day, they come out here to this back acre and they can browse and eat whatever they want to. And then in the evening, when I come out to do night chores, I will bring both of them back up to their paddock. Then they get their perennial peanut hay, and then I milk in the evening. I am still drying off Sayla. Now I'm not so worried about her health, but really her teats are really annoying to milk. She's got little tiny teats and they point weird directions, and it's not fun. And I already have another really great doe that I like milking, and I'm about to bring home another one. So I'm just not gonna mess with Sayla this go around. Hi. I am really excited. I'm very happy that Sayla is on the mend. Gotta admit, she was really freaking me out there for a little bit, and I was getting pretty worried. Another exciting thing is that we're starting to get our electric fence set up. I think we're about ready to run the wire. But we'll see. This is a learning process. I've never run electric wire before. Over the past couple of days, we've started putting in posts and just kind of asking some friends about the best way to put up wire and all of that good stuff. So we're gonna fence in this whole backyard, and then I'm also going to make a little like 20-foot area over here to use as a training pen, because I don't know that any of my goats have ever been on electric fence, and they definitely haven't been with me. So I want to give them the opportunity to learn about the fence before I just turn them loose on a big area, and I don't want anybody to hurt themselves. I'm thinking that we'll put our learning pen right here. This is the old pig pen, and then that's just some empty area. Figured we might as well put it up here, but we'll see how it goes. I don't really have a solid plan for where I want to put the training paddock, because I want it to be something useful. I don't want to just put it up and then take it down immediately. So Jerry and I will talk about it. Maybe that's where we'll keep the bucks full time, since they're in that small temporary pen. So that could work. We just haven't talked about it. So we'll get there. We have our line of posts in. We've got another line because we're splitting it in half. We're making progress. Once we set up this first paddock here, I will probably do a video talking about how we are doing it, because I have not found very many videos, especially made within the last like 2 years on YouTube, talking about how to put up electric wire, like semi-permanent electric wire fencing. There's lots and lots of videos about using the temporary fencing, the netting and stuff that you move, very frequently, but we're not doing that. And there's no way we're the only people that need to know how to do this. So I'll be putting out a how-to video once I know how to. Hi, Zimri. How you doing, sweetheart? I don't know how you ended up so nice, because your brother is crazy. And you act like you were bottle fed, but you definitely weren't. Hey, Mordecai. How you doing, buddy? You gonna eat me? Becker, can I touch you? Oh, nice. You coming around a little bit. Mordecai rubbing off on you? Making you nice? No, not quite. Becker there is such a handsome little buckling, but man, he is not friendly at all. And I don't know why. Like, I don't know why Zimri ended up super nice either, so probably just some genetics involved in there, because like Sayla is a sweetheart and their dad, Ephraim, wasn't. Since Selah is on the mend and she's looking pretty good, I want to show you some of the supplements we gave her, hoping that they would help her, get back to 100%. Now, I did give them to her before we took the mold out, so I think it was a whole combination of like getting the minerals and everything she needed and the mold being gone. And so I think all of that working together has really helped. So I'm just going to show you what we use whenever we have some kind of weird sickness and we don't know what to do. If it's a weight-related issue, I really like using NutriDrench. It is a rapid, rich nutrition supplement. A lot of people use this for like show goats. They'll give them a dose of this like 8 hours before their show, and it makes their coat look really nice. But over the course of like 8 days or so, it's supposed to help get them all the nutrients they need. Kind of like Pedialyte or something, but for goats. The other thing that I've been giving Sayla that I am still giving her is Red Cell, and that is a iron supplement. I checked her eyelids a couple weeks ago and they were a little bit pale, which usually means barber pole worms, which is an intestinal parasite. So I dewormed her and started her on Red Cell to get her out of the anemic stage. For this one says to give them a dose every day for a week and then once a week until you get to the correct eye color. So she's still on this. She's only getting it once a week now, but her eye color has come up significantly. We use the Famacha Famancha? I'll put it down here. Score so that you know what color their eyes should look like. I'm not certified in that, but I am using it just for my own herd. The other two supplements I have given are a probiotic and selenium. So our goats have loose minerals they have access to all of the time, as well as baking soda. But our loose minerals are for multi-species, so it's lower in selenium than what they really need. So I did just dose her with a little bit of the selenium, just, you know, because I didn't know what was wrong with her. So those are the supplements that I really just kind of poured to her on top of a really high quality feed that we mix ourselves. Really good perennial peanut hay and very green coastal hay. I just kind of did all of the things. I asked on several different vet groups on Facebook about what could possibly be going on. We got a lot of different answers, but in the end, I really think it was the mold exposure. So that is our Sayla update. She's doing really well. She's starting to come back to us a little bit. She really had me worried, but I'm excited to see her thriving soon. She's not quite to thriving yet, but she's getting there. If you enjoyed hanging out in our little corner of YouTube today, please consider liking, sharing, or commenting down below. This just tells the YouTube algorithm that you enjoyed this video and that it should show it to other people. And it's a really non-committal way of supporting us. Now, if you feel like committing to us, you can hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and that just means you're gonna get a little pop-up every time we put out a new video. If you'd like to get to know us on a little bit more personal of a level, a great way to do that is to follow us on Instagram. I post there on a daily basis. If not an actual post, then I'm updating our stories very regularly. It's a great place to see things as they're happening instead of on YouTube, where there's generally a little bit of a delay. So thanks for catching up with Sayla, with me, with us. Thank you for hanging out. Until we meet again. Bye, y'all.